8:17 a.m. Quad Cities, News Talk 1420 WOC. So a few moments ago when I was listing off all of the things that our next guest has done, I forgot to mention that he also graduated from Top Gun back in 2000. He was still flying missions in 2013, and he's also still an FA-18 Hornet instructor pilot. And now he runs he's part of a program called Afterburner, and that's what we're going to talk with Patrick Lips Houlahan about. Hey, Patrick, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking here at the planes you fly, the FA-18, the A-10. Listen, I fly a little Cessna 172, so I know exactly what that's like to fly those planes. So I'm, I know where you're coming from.
Speed is all relative. It depends on how low to the ground you are.
Exactly right. Well, let's talk about Afterburner. This is a very cool event that's coming to the Quad Cities, and a thing that makes this extra cool is it also benefits the big brothers, big sisters of the Mississippi Valley. So tell us what somebody is going to learn if they attend Afterburner.
It depends. It depends on whether you are a big or a little. If you're a young adult, it's about setting a future, setting a plan, capturing your goals, and then for the littles in the crowd, it's about where do you want to go, and being the pilot of your life and not the passenger.
So this is targeted for. Let me ask you, who would you say is targeted? I'm looking at like executives and people who want professional development, but it seems to be a little bit more than that.
Right. It's actually targeting both. The process that we teach, flawless execution, is a simplified process dealing with a rapidly changing, chaotic world, whether you're in the military or in the civilian world or just trying to grow up today. It's a defined process that allows us to plan our future, plan what we want to do, whether we're in a business environment or we're a teenager trying to figure out where we want to go with our lives, and then how can we get there, and having checkpoints along the way.
Is this all about setting goals, or just, is it more about setting goals, or is it more about being focused on tasks?
Setting goals and being focused on tasks. So having a clear, measurable, achievable objective that supports our future picture, and then having the tools and techniques to execute. And if you think about being a fighter pilot, when you're going 1,000 miles an hour, you have to execute, and you have to execute flawlessly. And it's the same in the business world today, and with as fast as the world moves, even for the teenagers. I have two teenagers myself. My daughter's 17, my son's 15. I mean, they got a load of stuff piled on their back, so how are they going to achieve their goals and set their futures up as well?
How did Afterburner come about? I mean, did you guys just say, listen, we have all these skills, when we fly a plane, like you said, we're going 1,000 miles per hour, we have these checklists, and we have every one of these checklists and checkpoints to make sure that we execute this flawlessly because there's no room for error here. And sort of when you guys got out and you started going into the business world, did you just say, listen, we can adapt that same strategy?
Yes, and actually it started in 1996, and since that time we've trained 1.5 million professionals in over 30 countries so far, 100 of the top Fortune 500 organizations or companies that are out there. And what we found, actually, Jim Murphy is the one who started Afterburner, and when he left his active duty time and went back into the business world, he realized that the same tools and techniques and processes that he had used as a fighter pilot were very applicable in the business world. So in 1996, he started teaching and applying those to a business environment.
If you are interested in learning more about this, you can go to the Big Brothers website, Big Brothers Big Sisters website. It's BBBS, Big Brothers Big Sisters MV, Mississippi Valley, bbsmv.org/big impact, and you can learn about that. And I'm guessing the space is probably going to be limited on this, right?
I'm assuming it is. I was looking at the website earlier. Yeah, it looks like it's going to fill up pretty quick.
As you do these workshops, is there a common flaw that you see that people have as they try to go through life or achieve their goals?
Yes. They try to, what I like to term, boil the ocean. They try, they want to be the best. They want to, they just take too big of a bite of the pie. They try to eat the whole thing in one sitting. And what we tell them is, look, whether you're in a business or whether you are a teenager and you're trying to figure out where you want to go in life, figure that out, get the big picture, but then take small bites. Execution's all about establishing a rhythm, taking small bites of the pie, and eventually end up eating the whole thing. Most individuals try to capture the big picture, try to achieve it all at once, and they just become frustrated. It's a common occurrence, and they end up going back to what they've done before, expecting different results, which is a definition of insanity.
Right. Do you find that people sometimes, change the kind of pie they want? I mean, people say, I want to do this, and then as they move their way down the checklist, say, maybe I don't need that for my goal. Maybe I should change this. And that way, going step by step, you're probably not too far into it where you can still make those changes.
Absolutely. We deal with that all the time with businesses. And what I like to tell when I'm in front of teenagers is that, when I went to college, I had 3 goals. I wanted to be a professional football player, a veterinarian, or a fighter pilot. And actually, a fighter pilot was number 3. And when I got to college, I wasn't fast enough or big enough to play football. And unfortunately, I didn't apply myself enough to become a veterinarian, and I ended up being a fighter pilot. It sounds like fighter pilots aren't smart, but being a fighter pilot was actually my third choice. So it's okay if you change your goals, but you're absolutely correct. If you're taking bites along the way, that gives you an opportunity to reevaluate, because we use a plan, brief, execute, debrief cycle. And so you can debrief, figure out what you've learned, and determine whether or not you're still headed in the right direction, or if the right direction is even where you want to go, and that allows you to change before you get too far down the road.
We're talking with Patrick Houlahan. We're surmising that your nickname of Lips, does that come from the movie MASH?
It does.
Yeah.
I walked into my first squadron. I was literally in the door for 5 minutes, and the first instructor, this was 1994, looked at my name tag, and it has my last name on it, it has Houlahan, and he just said, "What's up, Hot Lips?" And that was it. I was done. I didn't even have a choice.
And you dropped the hot at some point, right?
Yeah. That's there's reasons for that. It's 2 syllables. You want your call signs to be very short.
Right.
You don't want to spend a lot of time on the radio, but it ended up being shrunk down to Lips.
Does everybody get their own call sign at Afterburner?
Actually, we get them before Afterburner. Most of us come in with them. And
No, I mean, like, the people attending. That'd be kind of cool if we could assign everybody their own call sign.
We have done that. I've worked with CEOs and presidents and vice presidents. We do planning workshops, we do strategy sessions, and by the end, everybody's got their own nickname and call sign.
Cool.
Nice.
All right, so once again, this is targeted for people who want professional development, young people. I mean, if you're a business owner and you're listening right now and you have a lot of people who make decisions in your businesses, give me like a 30-second reason that you want to send a bunch of employees to this.
You want to send a bunch of employees to the Take Flight Big Impact event because they will learn how to structure their work environment. They're already going to do the work. They might as well just do it more efficiently. And Afterburner is all about teaching and applying the tools and techniques to improve execution.
Oh, perfect. bbbsmv.org/big impact. You can also go to our website at WOC1420.com. We'll have Patrick's interview up there, and then there'll be a link to the website as well, so you can check it out and get registered. And again, the proceeds of this going to help Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Mississippi Valley, which is even, it's the cherry on top of the ice cream here. So, Patrick, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it, and good luck, and we'll see you when you get here.
No problem. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited to be there.
All right, Patrick Houlahan joining us, Lips, joining us this morning here on AM Quad Cities. It is 8:25 with Dan.